Brian, you picked out a Motor Trend certified vehicle, and it's a special vehicle. Now, I know I'm a car salesman telling you it's a special vehicle, and you're probably wondering, what in the world does that mean? Well, Brian, we've known for years that consumers have got certain fears, and you may have some of those same fears. We know one fear they have is most of them are worried about paying a car dealer too much for a car or a truck. Is that something you worry about too?
Yeah.
Well, you and 300 million Americans are worried about paying us too much for a vehicle. What I'm about to say next is going to sound absolutely crazy, especially coming from a car salesperson. But number one, it's in writing, and number two, I'll tell you exactly how it works. And I think you're going to find it quite interesting. What I'm about to say is this. Brian, you picked out a vehicle that is literally impossible for you to pay too much for. Do you believe me? No, I don't blame you. If you believe me, I think something was wrong with you. Look, Brian, when you like 95% of my customers, probably did a lot of research on the internet, correct? We weren't the only website that you looked at, right? If our price on this vehicle hadn't been pretty attractive, you wouldn't be here, would you? You're probably wondering, though, how much lower will we go, correct?
Yes.
And if we won't go any lower, you're probably wondering, gee, could it be any lower anywhere else out there? Brian, I'm going to guarantee you in writing that our price isn't a good price, it is a great price. In fact, it's going to be the best price you will find on this vehicle anywhere on the planet. Here's how our best value guarantee works. Once you take delivery today, we give you 5 days to search any website you want to. It can be a new car franchise, an independent used car franchise. It can be Craigslist. It can be here in New Jersey. It can be in Pennsylvania. It can be in Georgia. It can be in Idaho, California, or Europe, Asia, Africa. It doesn't matter. If you find a similar vehicle to the one you take delivery from us, and when I say similar, it's got to be the same year, make, model, trim level. The miles have got to be in the ballpark. But if you find it advertised for a lower price on any website anywhere, and it's got the same benefits that we offer, you just show us that website. Brian, we'll cut you a check back for the difference on the spot. Now, has any dealer ever told you that and guaranteed it in writing?
No.
Look, the last thing you need to worry about today is paying too much for a vehicle. You literally can't do it. But we do want to make the right choice, don't we? Well, what I'm about to say is going to sound a little nuts, but we know customers worry about picking out the wrong vehicle, because if they do, they're stuck with it, aren't they? Yeah. Car dealers don't let you bring things back and exchange it like Best Buy or Macy's or Home Depot, do they? Well, at All American, we're different. We do let you bring it back and exchange it. We basically give you a 3-day test drive. Look, if the equipment isn't right, the color isn't right, if your dog just starts barking at it and won't stop, doesn't matter what the reason. If within those first 72 hours you want to bring it back, you have got the right to do it and exchange it for another vehicle. Now, we ask that you don't put more than 300 additional miles on the odometer, and we ask that you don't run into anything, because you need to bring it back in the same condition. We also put this in writing. So, Brian, you can't pay us too much, you can't pick out the wrong vehicle. And the last issue, or the last concern a lot of people have is, you're looking at a used car. You ever worry about buying somebody else's problem? Yeah, right. People wonder, why has this been traded in? It's a late model, nice vehicle. What's wrong with it? Well, look, you don't need to worry about that. Number one, we put it through a very thorough inspection, okay? But all dealers don't pay, they inspect the vehicle. We happen to have to do it up to Motor Trend standards. We don't just inspect it, then we guarantee it. And we don't guarantee it with just a powertrain warranty. We guarantee it with a warranty that covers all of those components, which are basically most of the mechanical workings of your vehicle. The customer described it like this, and I loved it. He said, well, it looks to me like you'll cover my windshield wiper motors, but not the blades. I said, yeah, we don't cover wear items. My braking system's covered, but not the pads. Precisely. The engine's covered, but not the belts and hoses. Okay? The most you would pay for a repair during the first 6 months or 7,500 miles would be $100. Okay? We pick up the cost over that if any of these components fail. And by the way, if you plan on keeping your vehicle longer than 6 months, you can always extend this. So, Brian, You can't pay too much, you can't buy the wrong vehicle, and you don't need to worry about buying somebody else's problem. Let's go out and check out the vehicle you came to see, make sure it's the right one for you, okay?